Guys, I still can't hear you or see you. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. What's up, Chad?
Hello. Wow.
They're still having the same problem.
Yeah, but you have a great mic. Shitty one. I should get a better one.
As of right now, I'm using that.
Well, that's what I'm using. So it's must not be mine.
Actually, I don't know if it's that mic or if it's the fact that because my cam actually has a built-in mic in it as well, so it might be that you're hearing.
Well, I think it's my computer. It just every time I record any of it, I've heard some of my live stuff, and the mic is horrible.
Oh wow. But yeah, whenever we're having these conversations, don't mind me with me being so quiet because I'm just kind of like absorbing everything.
This is the first one that they invited me tonight, and this is the first one I've actually been in with them. So I'm just seeing what they're doing,
Yeah, I mean they've got a good cause and everything.
How about now, ladies and gentlemen?
You're back.
Well, okay, back. I can hear you. Yeah, it worked. Hey, Lucy.
That's what it was.
No, but you know what? Honestly, going back to the conversation topic of the Illuminati and the music industry, okay, that kind of like as Chris or Spike already said, that I was loving this, and the reason why I was loving that topic is because of the fact that back in the early and late '90s, you had an artist by the name of Tupac Shakur that was bringing up the Illuminati and all of that shit, way back then. And a lot of people are saying that's what got him killed and stuff like that. But then there's a more recent artist that just recently quit the music industry and moved to Australia, and that's Hobson, who also constantly brought up the Illuminati and stuff like that. So, I mean, the question is raised there, is there an actual factuality on, is this Illuminati targeting rappers in the industry?
That is a good question. And
targeting?
A lot of people have speculated.
The reason why I say targeting is because it seems like there's certain individuals that have been, quote unquote, come into contact with them, and if they don't agree with it, all of a sudden they fall off the grid.
Sure.
Yeah, it makes sense. Now we got Chad back.
I'm of the opinion that the media and all media, means Hollywood, movie stars, pop stars, culture, all that stuff is intentionally infiltrated from the beginning. It was designed to be that. That's why it's as big as it is. That's why our culture and society spends as much money and time and energy on it as we do. It's supposed to be that. It's how you divert the water flow. It's how you make oceans wherever you want with energy. Water generally and energy generally will go at its own level. It's, it finds its own level naturally. These people want to control the world. You do that by controlling the minds of the people in the world, and you do that through media, through entertainment. So therefore, the people that are in this industry know what their job is. You can't be good at your job unless you know what the fuck you're doing. And it's been exposed enough to me that these people are in the know, and it's also a known thing that if you don't go along, you won't get along. Period. And if you get too high up, and then all of a sudden you've been going along, you've been being a good little monkey for years, but then all of a sudden you see something, or you just can't deal with it anymore, or whatever, and you decide to not go along anymore. Boom! Now we're talking about those that are targeted, or how many celebrities just up and decide to blow their head off because having all that money and drugs and fame is probably just a real bitch.
Right.
Do that.
Which, I mean, that's why it raises the question in my mind. It's like, why all of a sudden did Hobson decide, okay, well, I'm out, peeps, without so much as really giving a reason? The only thing he sat there and said was, it's not for me.
Yeah.
And personally, my whole thing with that is like, okay, if it's not for you, then why did you spend the last 6 years fucking making music videos, putting out albums and stuff like that?
He's trying to join the call.
I'm sorry. And the reason
It's probably cool.
It's John trying to join back with us. Calling and said.
And the reason why I asked that question is because of the fact, okay, me personally, is like I'm trying to get into the underground industry, and I've been trying for years. Okay? If the music was not for me, I would have given it up a long fucking time ago. I'm 32 years old and still trying. I mean, that's just my point of view. I mean, it's like...
It worked. The other two,
Potter?
they shouldn't be too far behind. They're the ones that let me know that everything crashed. Skynet doesn't like you guys at all.
I know. I want to point out, too, when we were doing the call with Hart Fisher, when we were doing that call with Hart Fisher, we got cut off like 5 times
3 or
that
4
night.
times.
Yeah.
Easy. I watched that too. Like it got to a point like it was part of the show. Like it's not a TWWR on broadcast until you've been knocked off the fucking air.
Exactly.
Well, it's like, okay, first thing that came to mind whenever that shit happened, they were on that fucking radio broadcast and everything, was the live broadcast that I can never remember the motherfucker's name, but when the dude that supposedly worked for Area 51 was sitting there spilling the beans, basically, and they got cut off. I was like, oh shit, they're in the same boat.
And that's how you know we're doing something right. We can't guarantee that we're factual. Like, because when you look at our broadcasts, man, some of them are grimy, man. Especially mine. If you go into like the first 6 that I make, I am I'm horrible.
We're gonna show a pussy.
Oh, that's the prettiest pussy I've seen all night.
That's
I've got 3 of them running around here somewhere.
So, there we go. There
Welcome
we go.
back. Thank you so much for coming back.
Hi.
I was so hoping to get you and Chad and RTT back because you guys were going really good with the conversation, and I was really interested in what you guys had to say.
Fuck Google, man.
Same here. I don't know who invited me to this hangout in the first place. It's kind of bugging me, but I'm glad.
I think I have an idea of who it might have been. Me. The reason why I say that is because I spammed various groups, but there was only one group, I think it was, or 2 perhaps, that when I posted it, it said that it'll only be posted upon an administrator's approval. So there's a chance that you caught that you were the administrator that was going to approve, and then the thing came up, and instead of approving shit, you just hit the button and be like, what is all this about? And now you're here.
Yeah. What a trip.
Just an idea.
Okay.
Meet the people, we are glad to have you back.
Well, thank you.
So what I was getting at in the other room was that so here I was being a jackass, and I made this John Connor thing, and I was jacking everybody's ideas, and I was posting them as my own, and created this group, and then that didn't work because the group didn't match. So then I had to create another one, and before I had to create another one, well, I had to find a media to explain myself to. And my YouTube videos, well, they were just garbage. Trust me, take my word for it. Go to TWWRN, look at the first 6 videos from John Connor, and it's garbage. If you want a good laugh, it's right there. It's right there. Don't worry about it. Don't worry if the cable is down, the network is down. Just grab those first 6 videos of mine, and you'd be like, this motherfucker, this shit right here, Obama, this shit right here.
Well, look at the stupid shit I've done. I burnt my hand on camera. Lucy dumps water on me in the shower.
It's always a good time, though.
I call Obama the N-word.
I call him the N-word all the time, but it's kind of like, with an A on the end, not, not the
The You see, you got to be all mad and pirate about it.
If you right now knew the people, I would.
You know what I'm saying? Make the puppet work for us.
Well, that's what he's supposed to do.
That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to be a puppet for the people.
Yeah, see, this is the problem. This quite literally is the problem. The system in which the Worldwide Resistance Network is trying to put together already exists, but it's broken. Like I said, that
it hasn't been created yet. No, don't think of it like that. It hasn't been created yet, because everybody is still, kind of coming off of the shock and the anger of waking up. But it's happening. It's happening now.
Yeah. Well, the most and I think I think Rob. Are you the one with the thingy across your mouth there?
Oh, yeah. Chad.
No, that's Chad.
Okay. Chad, the way he approached the situation this evening brings to light that the best way to do this is to, instead of fight the system at play or even hook into it, is quite literally establish a superior system, make the old system obsolete.
An alternative.
Hmm.
Yep.
The people also suggest that we don't even speak through the machine anymore. We just speak past it.
Yep.
Well, that kind of went through my head when I went for a piss earlier, and I was like, That's
why they cut us off. He went to the bathroom and showed everybody his dick.
Are you thinking about me while you're taking a piss?
Oh, you'd be impressed what happened there. So, because I'm sitting there, and
so long, Connor.
Yeah, and they're saying in my head, because my head talks to me from time to time. I said self, and I knew it was me because I recognized the voice, right?
Right.
And I was like, so we don't want to be acknowledged or even have reciprocation from the UN.
Right.
So that means that the system that we have to create will have to surpass. It will have to at least be equal to or greater than the UN.
Just an alternative. Just look at it as an alternative. Just if people had an alternative, like I forgot his name now. He's not in the chat, but he was saying about the app. Rob.
Yeah.
Not Rob.
No, I'm Rob.
Yes. About the app. Call. Don't call the cops. Call your neighbor. Just do something else. Just 180-degree turn. We can ignore a lot. We can. Think about it. People are sleeping. They can ignore.
Mm-hmm. I actually like that. See, that's when I was peeing, was when they were talking about the calling your neighbor when you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because, see, I already do that, right? Like, because I'm a criminal by nature a lot of the time, right? So, to be like, I got a problem, I call up my buddy, I'm like, dude, what, I got a problem. Bring beer and a gun.
Right. And the ice chest opens up, and there's a whole bunch of stuff in there.
Okay. I know they're probably going to wind up seeing this at some point. I'm just going to put it out there. A friend of ours, Kayla, was hanging out with this guy. His name was Mark.
God.
They were drinking.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, Rob.
Yeah, did you know who we're talking about? Yeah. Well, they were hanging out, drinking, and he was an armed security guard at the time. He, in his drunken stupor, decided to let Caleb play with his gun. Gun went off, shot Mark in the stomach.
Oh God.
Well, nothing
Yeah.
about that. It sounds pleasant at all.
No, not very pleasant.
It's pretty funny if you knew the guy.
But it happened.
And he's the guy
The
that
guy got shot in the stomach.
Mark Angers debated with. You remember who I'm talking about, Connor?
Who? What? Mark Angers?
Yeah, you and Mark Angers were arguing with another Mark. I'm not going to say his last name.
Yeah.
And then I got in on the conversation. Then he and I started talking privately, and he got butthurt, and now he and I are friends.
Who? You and Angers?
No, me and the other Mark.
Oh,
The
that
other Mark.
happens. Oh yeah, that happens. Well, see, Angers, Mark Angers, he's one of the founding real world people. Okay, I got drunk and stupid one night, and I went right off on Zionism, right? And he looked at me, and he was like, "Dude, you need to make a blog." And then I looked at him, and I was drunk as fuck, and I was like, "Dude, what? They kill people who make blogs about this shit."
They used to.
You know, like, so.
Now everybody has a blog about this shit.
Well, yeah. So how do we network them all together and make it make sense?
The sad
Let's
thing
be
is,
the Google
how
of
do
the
we
website.
get from being a trend into being something that's serious and relatable?
Well, yeah, because the next step, unfortunately, if not taken with any kind of precaution and care, will translate to just kill the Jews.
Innovative here.
No,
Yeah.
you have to separate the Jew thing from the whole
Zionist
Zionist thing. You know?
That's our mission.
Innovative here,
Then they're going
ladies
to
and
call you an anti-Semite, and hey,
Exactly.
Arr.
See, that's another ER we can't use. But no, see,
Oh.
but what happens is that Benjamin
In some
Netanyahu has already petitioned the UN and made it a United Nations law, apparently, that to be anti-Zionism is to be anti-Semitic. So we're done, like dinner.
Yep.
See,
So we shouldn't even talk to the UN.
exactly, which is exactly where Chad was going with the whole idea.
So what do
He's
we
like,
toast to, ladies and gentlemen?
the fact that we're all back online, -1.
Here's to.
Yeah. Here's to not getting cut off again by Google.
Here's to that.
Here's to. Salute.
Better get used to getting cut off by Google because that's the new norm.
As Connor takes a big ass swing.
Oh, it's like you guys weren't in the room when I was saying it earlier. It's not a worldwide resistance network transmission if you haven't been bumped off the air yet.
Yep.
So
They can't put off the transmissions because we just post. They can suppress. Now that's an issue we should talk about here. The suppression of Google. The suppression by Google. How do we overcome that?
How do we overcome GoogleTube?
Zeekly is the answer for that. Zeekly is the answer for what's wrong with YouTube.
I'm on Zeekly.
By the way, I am too, and I like the concept of what they got going. So yeah, Zeekly is the how to get around that. However, it's not just on YouTube. It's not even just Google. It is this thing that's hitting the internet that is going to suppress any dissidence or any point of view that is outside of what the machine wants people to swallow.
But Chad, how can that happen, Chad? Because we are outnumber them.
Well, are you on Twitter?
I'm on Twitter too. Yeah, I'm on Twitter.
Nazis, and look what happened there.
They suspended me for the second time today on Twitter, and I've got a large account, I've got connections, I've got all kinds of stuff, but anyone who says the wrong things is going to they're just not going to put up with it. And
right. I've had one channel already gone down because I posted a video suggesting that President Obama could be an anonymous.
That's
all.
all.
I remember I was telling you a little while back that I'm having trouble with non-exits.
Oh.
Fucking YouTube suspended the non-Exodus account, stating violations. So I'm like, okay, you tell me what terms I've violated, and I'll accept it. Otherwise, reinstate my channel. Next day, you can log into your channel, no problem.
Nice. Yeah, because I saw that it got knocked down. The Anon Exodus channel, the real skeletal backbone reason behind why we created that was it's a back burner. There's a lot of anonymous content out there. We try to pick the best and most informative and the best appealing and visually appealing, because even though TWWRN isn't moving as fast as anybody would like to see it move, the anonymous thing is still going. Yeah. And there's going to come a time where the Anonymous Collective, we're seeing it slowly now, where they're just going to be tired of it. They're quite literally, they're going to drop the flag. But these people are not going to drop the cause. It's very much like I said in one of my last videos. The problem with this information is that you can't unlearn this shit.
Right.
You can't.
Once you know something, you cannot not know it.
Can't plug back into the matrix. And
so fart, it's out.
Stuck in the middle with you.
So what happens at that point? It gets foolish, because you're going to have a lot of, I call them revolutionary or resistant-minded people that are going to look for their tribe again. And I think the little peanut hit my brain when they were talking about Ziegler, and I realized that maybe my approach with the Worldwide Resistance Network was a little off. Maybe, and this would take a lot of effort, but imagine if we could have a site in which, because like the reason why you're getting booted off Facebook and the reason why you're getting booted off YouTube and Twitter and all these things can probably be underlined and found in the terms of service contract in one way, shape, or form. Even if they twisted it to make it work, it's still there. Mm-hmm. So what if we had the site? What if we governed a website exactly how we govern our Facebook group? There's things that we can't even do in our Facebook group because it's Facebook and we have to stay within Facebook's terms of service. So what if we created the site that had video hosting like YouTube, that had a forum base like Facebook, that had a quick caption communications, international communications log like Twitter? So you have the long form and you have the short.
That would be
shorthand. Cool. Right? Maybe the website design as a whole was, on my half anyway, approached in a wrong way. Because all of these problems, we were talking about consolidating networks, all of these problems are on separate networks. What if the Worldwide Network
becomes the social media of the activist community?
The anonymous social media website.
The one that, why would you upload your videos on YouTube or any other channel and have to share it somewhere else when you can quite literally anonymously upload it on our site from Go?
Right, on anonymous social media site called Anonymous?
Exactly, like, I don't know, you call it anonymous. The heading of the site goes "Resistance Strikes Back," or I don't know. We could draw first blood on
where you can be yourself anonymously.
where you could show your face, and until true and proper, because it does exist, facial recognition software exists, but until they can actually use it properly, you could upload a video with your face on it, and everything on the description and information of your video, even on the cybernetic side of things, would come up as anonymous.
And it would be encrypted already.
Exactly. When
That'd be cool.
You press, okay, let's do this, and that's the name of the button. Okay, let's do this.
Let's do this.
You know what I mean? Because everybody does this. They make this big video. They pour their heart and soul into it, and then they're done.
And they hesitate at the button.
Right. They watch it again. And they're like, do I want to say that? Do I do that? Say this, right? Okay, let's do this.
Is this going to get me killed?
Yeah. Oh, man, I sat there when I would do my anti-Zionist video. I'd be like,
oh, yeah.
Is this the one? Is this the one?
Is this the one where the knock on the door is going to come? I do that, too. But, I haven't been bothered yet. I think it's because of the way I work. I try to say things without actually saying it.
Without inciting violence.
Well, yeah, I want to point things out to people, but I don't want to actually be accused of saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how my channel goes. That's how I do things. It's like I'm saying what's going on, but there's a deeper message within the video.
Can we need your permission to do this, but because the Tin Man here, he's going to have a cybernetic boner when this conversation's over, and he's going to go find your YouTube channel. I know it. It's coming. It's happening.
Go for it. It should have happened. It should be happening as we speak.
Can we put you as a featured activist?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I've been doing it all along.
That too. Chad's pretty excited.
I have been doing it all along. You'll find. Exactly.
And so yeah, like there's man, that's what we do. We do these
and I will
chats.
do the same.
Yeah, email me
just
your
watch our
guys'
stuff and make sure you agree.
Email me the links on YouTube on the Worldwide Resistance.
Just have them do it right in the chat box right there, and then we can copy this shit.
Yeah. See,
There you go.
the voice of reason comes out of nowhere, just like.
I barely heard it. Chad, can you speak up?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just saying if you want to drop your YouTube or Zeekly or Twitter or whatever, contacts in the sidebar there.
I sure will. All right. Stand by.
It's like, and I've always said this in the past, like we get one person. If we get one person that adds their name to the list every time we do a chat like this, that's one more person that's navigating through groups and is either seeing negative or positive reviews about us and can actually chime in on stupid negative reviews and be like, you just don't know who they are. They're going to take over the world one Facebook page at a time. It's coming. So we're.
Let me just say, this is only the second time I've done this, and there's like 3 other people here now.
Yeah, right? Like when I started this, and I was a jackass when I started this because I wanted everybody's opinion. I'd be like going into groups, like going into friends' things, and like because I was on Tiny Chat back then, and Tiny Chat and Facebook, they connected quite well. So there's a button on Tiny Chat you'd hit. You know what happened next? Invite all friends. So it's like, yep, that's what we're doing tonight. So like 200 people would show up. They'd be like, what are you doing? I'm in the middle of a protest. I'm like, well, dude, I just wanted to say hello. Make sure you don't get beat up with the Billy Club. Go to a safe place. Let's chat. What's going on? Like you got half of Europe going like, who is this guy? Right?
Because lost his shit, man. He's losing.
Because the worst part is that I'm a little bipolar. So then what happens is my ass doesn't sleep. So I start challenging people. In 2012, when the world was supposed to end, I did a 72-hour broadcast straight on Tiny Chat. I was just like, so what are we talking about today? And they're like, those damn bankers. I was like, I know. So which one are we worried about? The Rothschilds? Oh, come on, that was like 3 hours ago. Let's go with JP Morgan this time. For 3 days straight, I didn't stop. And it was awesome. And then all these people, and that's how it all started. I was just being a jackass. I was trying to stay informative. I was trying to stay polite, but my internet etiquette was something to be desired. Because everybody just knew what I was doing and where I was going. And then my videos were being made, and I found myself stealing everybody else's videos. I'd be like, my opinion can be found by the Storm Cloud Gatherings compilation. So, next thing you know, someone's grinding up their weed.
Oh, that was probably.
I know, I was just like, what the fuck is that?
It sounded like
Someone's grinding up the.
Hey, I love it.
So after I did this whole Facebook Tiny Chat, YouTube, my YouTube presence was like a debacle. It was horrible. Then I found Timmy. That's when shit got real, because he already had like 1,000 subscribers, right? And he had this whole persona, and he was the Worldwide Resistance Network. He just didn't know that that's what he was yet. He didn't name it yet. Resistance 2058. I was like, motherfucker, I am not waiting that long. We're doing this today. Today, nigga, today. So, next thing you know,
drop the N-word. Oh, no!
Oh, no. So, moving right along. He's got like 200 and some videos.
Yeah, get the fuck out of there, Armel. Light you on fire.
He's got 200 and some videos. I'm sitting there watching them, and I'm paying attention to all this, and I'm like, okay, all right, I like this guy. This guy can work. And I started doing my videos, started sending it to him. He made the whole The intro to our videos, that's all his doing. The outro to his videos, that's his doing. Lucid's his buddy, you know. So, and then all of a sudden, the three of us got together, and then Conspiracy Anon. Well, actually, it was Conspiracy Anon was one of our internet guys before Lucid came in as a person, kind of like you are. You guys are your internet people, but Lucid's right beside him. So then Lucid comes on board and, you know, sees some negativity and starts portraying the opposite side of the debate. That's what the whole, like, the weekly report, like, we sat there and we're like, what are we going to do? Like, there's three of us now. Like, what's the next step? Just like what we're doing tonight. The last time we said, what's the next step? The weekly report was born. And so you got Tin Man going off, like, reading different articles, and then you got Lucid. Like, and the funniest part, this is the game, okay? Now, because I know this, it's fun for me, okay?
Whoa! What you just said me, hon?
But the game is, one, Lucid's mug always gets bigger.
I don't know.
As you can see.
Stand by.
Right?
What I did.
So Lucid's mug always gets bigger. I'm waiting for the episode where he just grabs one of those, you know, those big blue jugs that you put in the fucking machine there. Just waiting for one of those to come out there. Like, I'm just.
I have done that, and Haunted can attest to that. I have done that.
So it's got to be done on film.
Firsthand. I was sitting right next to him when he did it. By the way, I've known both of these guys for, God, what, 15 years?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you should be behind the green screen with them. You're doing it wrong.
Actually, I'm in Arizona, they're in California. That's the reason why it's broadcast. Otherwise, I'd be sitting right next to them.
Right next to them. That's awesome. So the weekly report is born, right? And then
Or in the middle, just...
so the weekly report gets born, and they just go off, and Lucid, he has to argue with Tin Man. That's the point. If he begins agreeing too much, well, then now I got two tinfoil hat wearing guys behind camera, and it doesn't work. So one has to be the opposite. But see, you can always know when he agrees with them. But he's like, oh, but I can't. We agree on many things, but I have to disagree here. And it's like, nah, motherfucker, you agree. You have to put in the objective opinion, and you can catch it when he actually agrees with them. And for the public, he has to be Joe Punch Clock. He has to be the regular citizen, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Like, it's just but the first one was just a trial to see how it was going to go. Next thing you know, these guys started like writing shit down, making sure that, like, okay, this is the article we're talking about. We're going to talk about this. Okay, well, this is what everybody online has been screaming and bitching about. So let's do our main debate here on this subject. And it just blows up, and they got advertisements for their own YouTube channels. Like, that's one of the things. The activists, the featured activists, the featured activists, they get in the weekly report. They get slotted in as we make our own commercials for our own people to put into the weekly report. So that's growing. Lucid's lunacy has just spun right off.
I can't shoot my ass on camera.
I'm not the FCC. So we got Lucid's lunacy that has now spun right off because he's now caught on to why John Connor does his videos and why Tin Man does his videos and why now he's going to do his videos, and they're all featured under one and still featured individually. So his videos will be featured under his channel. My videos, I don't care. Tin Man takes them down. My account's not important. I could probably upload like 2-hour videos on there with the amount of videos I've uploaded on that thing. They just go up and come down and go up and come down by our choice. Wow, he's back. How was the journey? Did you meet many machines along the way? So we got all of these things put together, and now it's growing, and we don't know what to do next. So we're going to expand the YouTube channel, Twitter, and all that. That's all connected. But I really think that little peanut brain idea I just had there might be worth something. Building an actual site that has video hosting capabilities, very much like YouTube, a social media networking site, very much like what we see with the TUS or the TSU, whatever it's called, and Facebook. They're quite similar. That means the software is available to manipulate and work with. And then a shorthand, we would call it just like on-the-fly communications, which would be similar to Twitter. And if we could combine those three into one site, like you log into
And
one
Boobies
site.
has arrived.
Boobies. Got boobies in the house.
Everyone, we will
Yeah.
introduce you to
So,
the Boobies.
What's your
Hello.
hola, señorita.
Take your shirt off. I don't know why we call you boobies.
She's like, no, too many people in the room tonight. Just not doing it.
John, what you're describing is Ziegler.
Is Ziegler, that's what it is?
That's what it is. And there's no censorship. It's
If you guys take off, listen to you.
Nice. So, I gotta look into that then.
that link I dropped there. One of them is my profile on Ziegler.
Okay, check that link.
Or ZieglerTV.com. You know, it started out as a search engine. It now morphed into video sharing. Basically, old YouTube is exactly its format. And the next thing is exactly the social media aspect of it, something akin to Twitter. Also, the guy who owns it spent 4 hours with us on Max Roundtable. Really cool guy, down for the Second Amendment, fighting for the cause, and he can take any bullshit from people who want to whine and cry about true information getting out there, rather than being censored off YouTube.
Nice.
RTT,
So
do you have anything that you want to add?
Do what?
Do you have anything you want to add? This is
I've been
my conversation.
I've actually been listening out on YouTube. I don't know what happened. I didn't get a new join link when you guys moved the chat over. But
All right.
Welcome
I
back.
don't know who was responsible for inviting you, but we invited everybody to the same, the same ones we invited. So we tried to make sure everybody got in.
But it's glad to have you back. Glad you found us.
Yeah, my tablet just said, as soon as I locked out of it, it just said you were invited. Like, as soon as the screen closed, my invitation was there, so I'm not behind an actual computer. But so all of these things were put together, and we did one of these chats, and then the next thing you know, like I said, the weekly report was born. And the weekly report is now being done in a very serious manner, with all the right laughs where they belong. Like, people, they didn't like the first two episodes, and I was like, the kinks just, like, on the third episode, the kinks just, like, they got all worked out. They just kind of came together, because that's when Hart came in around, not too long around then, like, you guys started working that deal to get on the show with him.
Yep. Got some more shit coming up with him
Yeah.
down the line. Mine has an issue that she wanted me to bring up, back to the slumlord thing. She's got a squatters issue. I'm going to be going back on with Hart to discuss squatters, and we might actually wind up doing some more full-time shit with Hart. I'm not going to go into the details as of yet, but there is shit in the works with Hart
Nice.
and American Horror.
Because I saw his site there, like he is well, the site that I was brought to anyway advertises a great many of sites of like-minded ideology. So for us to get on that list wouldn't be a horrible idea.
Oh yeah.
So
And let's just put it this way, John. It's not just going to be a little video spot here and there with him either. It's going to be like a full-time broadcast that we're going to be doing with him if everything works out. You know,
yeah.
we'll be doing like it'll be like a syndicated talk radio show that we're going to be doing. So
Yeah. Oh, and the person that I'm actually going to be telling their story, Connor, you know who it is. We did a video for her. You know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
She likes to maintain her anonymity, but
Spicy Demon.
yeah, she said to tell you thank you for the love and the video that we made.
Oh
And
yes.
she wanted to know why you are called John Connor.
Why I'm called John Connor? Well, it was.
Yes, is that really his name? And I tried to explain to her. I'm like, no, it's more like a title, like a position.
Yeah, it's because everybody is John Connor. Like, there's going to come a point. That's kind of part of the announcement here is when I actually do decide to put my real name behind things and legitimize certain things, I'm going to hand John Connor to somebody. Like, John Connor was the name of my V for Vendetta mask. It was what I expressed my ideologies through, but everybody is John Connor. Anybody who listens to the Worldwide Resistance Network's information and how we try to organize and how we try to present the information and how we do the research and how we come to people's defense in various groups when we can, online and off, when we do these things, they're merely models, templates. My buddy always laughed at me and said, "John Connor, you may as well have just used Jesus Christ, you JC son of a bitch." But anyway, it's in essence, it's a template. It's a model in which we expect that all of our viewers, all of our members, all of our listeners, that everybody, that when you find yourself on the front lines, on the protest field, you are John Connor. You are the leader of that moment, that situation. You lead the three people that are beside you, and you lead them for all of 5 minutes to tell them that, like, look, what I am here to help you lead your friends. And then they tell their friends, we are here to help you lead your friends to the end goal. So next thing, and I've always told people, you want to scare people, you want to make, oh my God, this is where we get our Coney 2012 viral campaign. What if every member of the world, what happens if every member of the Worldwide Resistance Network, every time they see a police officer, they shake his hand if they can and tell them that John Connor said hello?
Whoa. That would create like some underground, who is John Connor? You'd have all them NSA freaks fucking after you. Who is John Connor?
Right?
Yeah, it's an ideology. What did the character in the Terminator films represent? What was he about?
He was a leader that never wanted to lead.
Well,
yeah, he didn't even want to lead, but he accepted that role. He said, "Okay, this is my fate. I'm going to do it." And that's kind of how I feel. I didn't necessarily want to do this shit. I didn't want to have to be an activist and start speaking out for people and waking people up and doing this shit.
Yeah.
I did it because it was the right thing to do. And needless to say, in many respects, it kind of got dropped on me. Thank you, Tommy Byrne, you insufferable son of a bitch. I love you, but you are an insufferable son of a bitch.
See, and even this, well, look at that, Tommy Bird. Something as simple and as small as Tommy Bird has led to this through one channel or another. So everybody is John Connor, and the John Connor Facebook account is about to become the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, where people that I think are really, really good at what they do, I'm like, okay, well, here's John Connor's logins. Because I've been doing it for 4 years. As of right now, on October 15th, 2015, I will have been John Connor on Facebook for 4 years. That is a presidential term. There is no reason why I can't step down and give it to somebody else for 4 years.
That's true, John Connor. I mean, president.
I would give it away in a heartbeat just to, okay, move with this so that I can run with it, because it was merely a project.
I got another question.
So what do I do with this project? Do I let it fall into a cupboard and let it die? Like, is the resources here? If this was money, the resources I put together, if this was $1 million in resources, well, would I just leave it in the bank and let the bank squabble it away, or would I take it and find a young, vibrant person with a good idea and then invest it into them? So, like, what if a good activist comes around with a good idea and I'm just like, hey, take
I like
this
the way you think.
and run with it now because I ran out of ideas. But here you go. These people listen to this guy. Don't ask me why, but they do. So try it.
That's a good idea.
And that's the next step.
I like the way you think.
So that's what I've been trying to do.
I could not be John Connor in this setting because I am too much of an arrogant son of a bitch. I have that tendency to piss people off. I can reach people. I can inspire people. But at the same time, I am pissing people off.
Well, yeah, like this is a guy
I
like
bet
he
you're a
puts a
good
video
writer,
on,
though.
and somebody's trying to string up. You know, they got the best song placed for when their loved ones walk in and find their dead body, and they're getting ready to string up. And this guy's so captivating. The ad comes on. And I'm like, motherfucker, I gotta take the noose off and skip the ad. Like he will stop you from killing yourself.
I am the voice of liberty here. Look it out! I am the voice of liberty. I'm holding up my torch.
There it is. There.
So
it's the top of a hookah, but
I thought
it'll
so.
work.
I know.
No,
And-
we're fitting to light up the hookah, ladies and gentlemen. So if you got hookah, join in the party.
nice. And so the next thing is like we always look for money. How do we make this financially feasible? Because some of the steps that are next, like without exaggerating, if I went, because I'm in Ontario now, so if I went in Ontario and I applied to make this a nonprofit organization, I could have all the paperwork drawn up, done up. I could probably do it for about $1,000, get it all said and done, and then I could open a bank account. And then from there, I would have to then send a copy of my paperwork to Tin Man or to any TWWRN person in the United States who wanted to do it. Then they would take the paperwork, they would go to their state. I would prefer Washington, merely like even if you had to travel to go there, just so that when it becomes legitimate, it becomes nationally recognized, right? Kind of like what I'm doing in Ontario. That's where the nation's capital is located. It's in Ottawa, Ontario. Well, Washington, D.C., you go to D.C., do the paperwork to get the nonprofit. Then we get somebody in Europe to do it. Right?
If you wonder what that was, I just moved the table back.
Oh.
So then we get.
Uh-huh.
Because I got about a couple of hundred European connections. The whole Team T1000 is based in Europe. The better part of it is based in Europe.
Louise isn't a part of that issue.
Who?
My ex?
Oh, I have no idea. I make sure, like when Team T1000 was founded, it was merely hackers for John Connor, and that was it. I didn't want to know what they were hacking. I didn't want to know how they were doing it. I did not want, in no way, shape, or form did I want to be associated with them physically, other than protect our networks, protect our members. Like when you see them get all attacked about something that they shared of ours, keep an open eye on them and make sure that they are as safe as you could possibly make them on the internet. And that's Team T1000.
Absolutely.
Right, and that's it. Because next thing you know, Team T1000 gets fed up and they hack like the computer database of Wall Street and it crashes and I'm going to jail. Not even jail. That's so Guantanamo. Team T1000 hits Wall Street, it crashes, and they say John Connor did it, or they crash Wall Street and says John Connor said hello. That's Gitmo, man. There's no coming back from that. So
yeah, I'm not going to Guantanamo for your ass, motherfucker. I love you.
No, exactly. So it's everything has to be done within the confines. Well, for now, anyway. And you know what? That right there, that just made me a terrorist because I said for now. But for now, everything has to be done in a particular way within the confines of peace and prosperity for ourselves and each other and our communities. Because on the next step, the next step is going to be destroy what everybody built. And that's not cool.
Well,
like that.
What does it come down to? You don't have to physically destroy something. You don't have to destroy a building in order to get a message across. You can destroy an ideology. You can destroy words. B says words will always retain their power. Yeah, they will to a point, but if you can destroy their credibility, then great. And that's what the government tries to do with the activist community. They try to destroy the activist credibility. And it can happen. Let's not pretend that it can't. But if you can destroy something like words, you have absolute power.
Oh yeah, if you can own somebody with your words, you own it.
We as the people have the power.
That's right.
We can do that. Alex Jones, for instance. Not many people, not a lot of activists are real fans of Alex Jones. But you know what? He woke a lot of motherfuckers up and shredded the credibility of the United States government and surrounding governments in the New World Order's illusion.
911.
The world the New World Order and the United States government, their word, thanks to people like Alex Jones and all the other activists who are participating, including ourselves,
are being questioned.
And their word doesn't really mean dick. Let's be honest, their word doesn't mean dick. 40% and dropping approval rating of our current administration, yeah.
Oh, that's
their word doesn't mean dick.
You have it easy. Do you know how bad it was for my country? The leader of my country was democratically elected with a majority of the votes on the fact that 30% of the country voted.
Mm.
And the majority of those votes, when it was all done, he only won something like, 25, maybe 35% of, like, if every person in the whole country would have voted, his winning margin was 35%. But because only 30% of the country voted, that 35% made him the leader of the country.
Well, see, that's one of my pet peeves right now is the voting thing. Because everybody, we don't want to have to vote. It's bullshit, the two-party lie and all that. But in the meantime, what do? Because this
American Idol.
But I mean, in the meantime,
but he was right on one respect. Make the presidential elections like American Idol and title it something like "Who's going to run this bitch?"
Right. We'll vote using Twitter.
There you go.
Yeah, better recognize Skynet. Anytime.
If voting mattered at all, would all these people be related?
No, they would not.
No.
Yeah, it's statistically and astronomically impossible for people to be voting the same families into power for 100 generations.
We gotta light the torch, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta light the torch.
Well, see, that's why I've always said that these next 2 years for the Worldwide Resistance Network could be epic because, well, if the people in this room don't know, they're about to know that in 2015, Canada goes to the polls and elects again, and in 2016, the United States goes to the polls and elects again. So, like, Jeb Bush is in the running. We really get to enjoy this moment in life. Like,
so a lot has to happen.
You.
A lot has to happen between now and then.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta make a Jeb Bush for 2016 is
nice.
Well, the video I made was Hillary Clinton for 2016, and it was a cartoon thing I made. Is that, hello U.S. America, where the hell is my martini bucket? I gotta take a crap. If I can do something like that with Jeb Bush and Hillary runs as well, I got it on both fronts, baby.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Wasn't there what the hell do you call that in the States? Anyway, a congressman or some dude that was like, if you're anonymous and you have information, you'll be safe in this state. I guarantee it. Yada yada yada. I forget his name and where he's from. But couldn't we prop somebody up? Couldn't we find somebody to run for president? The mob said it in the second Godfather.
I think I saw that guy, but I didn't like him. I saw a couple of videos that he did, and I didn't like him because he was asking people to do illegal things like, tamper with a vote.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that would put everybody in danger.
Absolutely.
So I didn't like him.
Well, you can't tamper with the democracy that's established, no matter how poor it is.
No, I mean, you just can't invite people to break the law like that so blatantly, and he did a video on it. It's like, hello.
Exactly. Isn't Jacques Fresco American?
I believe so. Haunted, you're sitting there quiet. You look like you got something you want to say. What do you got?
Yo, mama.
I'm just absorbing.
You're just absorbing?
I'm absorbing. I'm being a sponge right now, absorbing knowledge.
Haunted, I'm thinking back to high school because I was going through some photos earlier today,
Jesus
and
Christ.
we found 20 photos of you, by the way. And having this conversation gets me thinking back to the old days, back when we first met in high school. Did you honestly ever think that we'd be sitting here today having a conversation like this? You know, just based on the kind of person that I was back then and the kind of person you were? You know,
Not really, no. I was a completely different person back then. I mean,
I
I'm
could
just chewing
say-
oranges.
I think I can say yeah, because I was that girl that used to make the "Give a hoot, don't pollute" posters and hang them up on the.
Nice. Only you
well,
can
me,
have
I was the
fires.
guy that was always getting in fights and shit. So it's like, I mean, I'm kind of a passive person now, but back then I was far from it.
Dude, we got like a new person, like a legit new person.
yes,
Hi.
welcome to the group.
Welcome.
That's awesome. It's like
Kitty?
a peekaboo. Yeah, it's a peekaboo kitty with the white eyes. They're gone.
Yo, one.
I was thinking people back.
Oh,
Goodbye.
another. I'm sorry.
Bye bye.
And there was the local NSA visit.
That was a bye bye kitty.
Oh man. So Tin Man, don't forget you got to email the NSA tomorrow and ask them for the hard copy of this conversation.
Oh, I'll do it. You know I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm just arrogant.
We just have
Like,
fun
hi,
with them.
I'd like to speak to Edward Snowden, please. Oh, he doesn't work here anymore? Okay, give me his forwarded address, please.
Yep. Could you forward this to Edward Snowden? I need it released.
Right.
Oh,
Glenn
man.
Greenwald.
But like that whole, you know, like when John Connor says hello, we could even push it like the extra mile. We could like have people give the cops pennies. Then it could be like a competition which police
A penny
department
for
has
their
more.
thoughts.
Yeah, just be like, give the cop a penny for his thoughts.
Order
Like
for your
John Connor- Give him a penny and say John Connor said hello, and next thing you know, it's a competition. Which police department has more John Connor pennies?
Oh, or then they'd want to know who is John Connor.
Right, and we can make a Facebook page about it. Does your local police department have John Connor pennies? Contact us.
With Abe Lincoln's face on it.
Oh yeah, you gotta get the right president. Is JFK on any kind of currency?
Yeah. Isn't he?
Yeah.
No.
No.
He's not.
No, they don't want people remembering him.
No.
He's on the dime.
That's what I was going to say. I thought so. Thank you, sir.
The dime.
My God.
All right. So to really make it worth it, we make it a dime instead of a penny. 10. Actually, that's actually decent because in sacred numerology, 10 is like the alpha and the omega.
No, it's not Kennedy on the dime.
Show me your dime. It's all right. I'll wait if you have to go to the convenience store.
So what? We just get a whole shitload of fucking pennies and get like 1 million of them, and then we just re-stamp them with John Connor's name or TWWRN.
Actually, the Occupy movement did that with the dollar bill. At the bottom of the dollar bill, they would in permanent marker, they wrote hashtag Occupy Wall Street. And then you put it back into circulation. But see, the thing is that you can't be caught doing it because it's a federal offense to deface money in both countries. Oh, but I had a couple of my
But
friends.
it's general population. If we propose the idea, to say, hey, this would be a cool idea, not necessarily saying go out and do this, but if we say this would be a cool idea, and people start going out there and doing it, we're not liable.
Oh my God! Do you know what people could do? We could hack real world. Okay, this is what you do.
We are.
You get paid on a Friday, right? Okay, so you take your bank card, right, and you go to the bank machine and you pull out your entire paycheck, okay, in loose bills, whether it's 5, 10s, 20s, whatever, right? And then you take it and you bring that money anywhere to make it to the smallest denomination. Like, you guys are lucky. You have a dollar bill. Like, imagine $600 paycheck in dollar bills, right? And then you go and you deface that with whatever you want to put on it, right? Mm-hmm. You take those dollar bills, you put them in an envelope, right? You deposit that shit into the bank machine, right? And the very next day, if you don't have a hold on your deposit, you go and you pull it all out all over again. You'll have 600 brand new dollar bills. Right? You can
Just go to the casino.
You can do that too, right? Whatever it takes. And then the beauty of it is that you're taking your paycheck out, you're writing it on, you're putting it in. Those bills are going to go back into circulation, and you've done it all under the same amount of money. You can do it with $100. Pull out $100, deface it, put it in an envelope, put it back in, pull out another $100, deface it, and keep doing that. Next thing you know, on the one paycheck, you have pulled out the same amount of money 5 times in the run of a week if you have no hold. Now you're going to get a call from the bank. Dude, why are you withdrawing and depositing and withdrawing and depositing? But motherfucker, it's my money. I will withdraw and deposit as much as I want. You know, and then
they are going to notice all the bills that you turn in are all defaced. It's going to be real easy to determine the source.
So go to different ATM machines and different banks.
No, the deposit, the envelope is linked. I get what he's saying. The envelope is actually linked to the account when they open it. But you can bring those bills in, and the casino comes in there, or a convenience store, or any car dealership, anybody that deals with large sums of money that actually have money on hand. It would have to be done in a smaller volume. Get a few people to do it. At that point, if you want to understand how to make this score work out properly, you would look into what people do when they're dealing with counterfeit money. They get a fake 20, they go spend that fake 20, spend $4, and then they get the $16 left, right? Well, if you take that $1 bill, crinkle it up, be like, hey, can I give you this? Can I just change this dollar bill in the till, right? You'll get a fresh dollar bill, and then start, like, you could just continuously reset. You would quite literally, you would take a substantial or small sum of money, because it's all individual at that point, right? That a person can actually work with in the run of a weekend. It's always best to do things like this in a weekend with a couple of beer and you're just acting foolish, because it's always more fun to do things like this. But you just go to different stores and switch out the bills, and you could switch out the same 5 $1 bills to 5 different stores in the run of a 24-hour period on a Friday. You know, the liquor store is great for that. You know, you go in and you buy your case of beer, and you'd be like, dude, what? Can you switch out this 20? Or can you take this dollar and put it in your till and give me another $1? Why? Because I want that dollar in circulation, motherfucker. So I will ask you to put it in your till. And he'd be like, oh, that's a good idea. Next person's like, hey, put it all in his till.
Oh, you just put TWBRN on the fucking bill. You get nothing else in circulation that say TWBRN. They're going to fucking Google that shit. What the fuck is TWBRN? And they're going to find...
Exactly.
The dollar is crashing anyways, so...
Putting TWWRN might actually up its value on it. If you have a TWWRN issued $1 bill, in 70 years from now on eBay, someone's going to give you $80,000 because you were part of an operation that only a few people were present to hear. You know, it gets foolish. But the reason why I'm saying going to different tills is because what was brought up with the bank will notice. You want this to go back into circulation through the companies, through their bank deposits at the end of the night.
But John,
Yes.
John, the dollar is crashing anyways.
Yeah.
So, fuck all the bullshit. Fuck all that. We got other things to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's a small thing. It's a small thing.
It becomes a self-perpetuating business card.
Shit. Thank Putin and BRICS for that, you know? The petrodollar is crashing.
As we speak, unfortunately.
As we speak. It's stained, you know?
Yep. Well,
at that point, it makes it even more valuable, because when the dollar finally crashes and they have to go over to another currency, not only do you have anybody who has an original dollar is going to be worth something.
There's going to be a lot of people who have one of those.
You're going to be like, holy shit!
Yeah, we'll make the American dollar worth money again through collecting memorabilia.
But everyone will have a dollar. Even people in what do you call it? Third world countries have one.
Oh, they have they have stacks of it right beside the firewood. Use it as kindling to get it going.
There you go.
Yeah, you no longer will see commercials of kids poking sticks in the mud in Uganda. You'll see them playing with TWWRN dollars.
Exactly. Oh man, we're horrible people. We're so going to hell just because we laughed.
Yeah, what is it? The LDS faith not allowed to have loud laughter or something?
Oh.
Avoid anything with extremely loud laughter. You know, be humble.
The cat's back.
We're laughing.
Hi,
We're going to
Cat.
hell.
Kitty, kitty. Welcome.
Where's the kitty? Hi, kitty person.
RTT made a good point here. He said, wouldn't it just be easier to write on the bills as
DL1 Mer 42 DJ. Welcome.
Yeah. Somebody check that out. I guess I can. But
Yes, please do.
What?
they left again. I'm gonna put.
No, they're still there on our feed.
Yeah, they're there. They're just chilling.
They're
But
still
yeah,
there,
what
just
were you reading out there, Lucid?
RTT said it was a good idea to write on the bills before you spend them. That way your shirt goes into circulation.
Mm-hmm. I was just trying to, overreach and find a way to get more bills under the same dollar.
How to get more bills in our wallet.
Yeah. But yeah, we write on them before we spend.
Yeah.
You ever see that movie Office Space? Do that. You want more bills in your circulation?
Yeah.
Office Space.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. So all kinds of.
Can we get some Hey Carter, can we get some T1000s to pull out Office Space for TWBRN?
What's an Office Space?
You ever see the movie Office Space?
Oh yeah, okay.
Where they set up that fucking program in the bank to round off, to take whatever was rounded off of the nearest dollar and then deposit it in their account. Can we get somebody to do that?
I can't because in my country we already do that. In Canada, we don't have a penny in circulation anymore. The lowest denomination is a 5 cent.
No, it's like the percentage of the percentage.
Mm. I don't know. That'd be fun. That's kind of what they did.
It's
in
just
the movie
whatever
Hackers.
goes. It's just whatever goes bye.
So Connor, all your change denominations are in denominations of 5 cents.
No, like okay. When you grab a fistful of change, right? You can have a penny, a 5 cent, a 10 cent, a 25 cent. If you're in Canada, you can have a loonie and a toonie, right? Well, we don't have a penny anymore. The penny itself is no longer in circulation.
Wow.
Yeah, so the lowest denomination of change that you can get from a convenience store is 5 cents.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't get denominations of, like, say, 92 cents back. You'll get 95 cents back.
If it's 2, you'll get 90 cents back. If it's 3, you'll get 95 cents back.
Gotcha.
We have a round. So for all we know, the Canadian government's already doing that. That whole keeping the percentage.
Right?
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me at all. So
Makes sense.
And they got the whole Bitcoin thing going. That was kind of fun.
And new guy, do you have any input, or are you just gonna listen in?
Probably just gonna listen in.
You're gonna make him.
One of the powers that we have collectively, we don't have this power individually because none of us have enough money to matter. But together, collectively, to give you an example, if everyone, as much money as McDonald's makes every day, if for some strange reason everyone in the world decided not to spend money at McDonald's next week, they'd lose hundreds of stores. They'd have to close their doors. They'd go out of business. The biggest company or the biggest whatever is absolutely nothing without the people who feed it. And if we ever want the beast to die, you don't even have to slay it. You just have to stop feeding it. And so collectively, we could decide to stop stop feeding the beast, and it would starve.
Yeah, we can impose our own sanctions.
Exactly. Yep. But it can only be done collectively.
It has to be done collectively.
None of us have enough money to, make a dent in it. But together, yeah, we could decide, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter. You could pick anybody, Walmart, federal government, whoever you want, anybody you wanted to shut down. If you just stopped giving it energy and money, it would not be here for long.
You know, I just love how this conversation went from, hey, how can we improve TWBR, and people tell us what you want to, hey, let's change the fucking world. This is how we're going to do it. I love it.
Well, the answer is the same for both questions. I mean, you know, it's the same.
It really is. That's the point.
Yeah, if you want to be relevant, you want to offer people something that they're going to see value in and spread the message kind of thing, well, you got to give them something that they're going to want to share. You won't have to ask them to get it out there type shit. You just, if you're providing something of value, people are going to get it out there because they care.
Well, it's like,
well, what's the date for the
like
Judgment Day in the movie again, Tin Man?
Say what?
What's the date for Judgment Day in the movies again? Like, I'm having a brain fart.
Which movie?
Whichever one is most relevant. We can go with the second film or the first film.
The first two films, it was August 29th, 1997, and Terminator 3, it was July 4th, 2003. And in the show, there was two separate Judgment Days given. I think it was like 2011 and 2012 or something like that.
But on what day of the, like what day, what month? The year, not so important.
I don't know, dude.
So we go with August 27th, right?
Yeah, August 29th, 1997.
29th. Do you think that we could put together a viral campaign that would be of relevance to the quote-unquote secret nature that we use, or the John Connor-esque, or the whatever? Could we put together a campaign that we could get people's attention for a global action on that particular day?
Are you talking like something like the Million Mask March on August 29th?
Yeah, but exactly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could. We got enough followers on the Facebook page and on the Twitter page. I mean, I'm sure if we put it out there, is that, hey, we are going to do this. Come join us.
Better yet, but remember this. See this joining and this protesting. Do you know how much money these protesters are feeding the machine in airfare and gas money and bottled water? And I mean, sometimes they're bringing in double the economy. They're feeding the machine, and that's why they don't care what's written on the silly sign. They don't care what you think. They don't
still
care
coming to buy
what
a
you
pop.
want. Exactly. You're still feeding
Well, it
the
doesn't
machine.
necessarily have to be a protest.
If all those people stayed home and didn't spend $1, they would do more against the machine than standing out in the cold with the stupid sign.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a fucking protest march. I mean, you could protest in other ways.
That's
like
what I'm talking about. Just be effective.
We have to cut down the internet thing. You know, we'll just not log on the internet for the whole day as a demonstration. Or you have people doing things like the ALS challenge. You know, little things like that. You know, if you can get people's attention, create the next big thing, that's when you really hit your marker. It's not doing what everybody else has already done.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing the next big thing. It's like in music. You know, you can't get into the music industry by doing what everybody else has already done. You got to come up with the next big thing. And you know, that's what grabs people's attention, because they don't want the same old shit that everybody else is doing. They want the next big thing.
RTT also just said too that you have to remember the 20% rule, and it's very true. I've noticed this, and even you, Haunted, you and me both know this about even doing shows. You know, when we would do like Battle of the Bands and stuff like that, the 20% rule. You invite 100 people, only 20 of them are going to show up. You know, so you want to get your numbers as high as possible, so that way your turnout is good.
Yeah, and at which point we really got to, TWWR and activists, we really got to start marketing this shit to other people. Those people who watch our videos on the Facebook channel or the Twitter channel, fucking share this shit with your fucking friends. It's like, hey, you got a friend who's still sick? Share this shit with them. If something is that we say resonates with, or you think would resonate with one of your friends, fucking share that shit with them.
Welcome back.
Wake them up.
No, I just told you people welcome back. She said she's back. Hey, guys, it's getting kind of late here for me. I got to wake up super early in the morning, so I'm going to go ahead and turn in early for the night. It was a pleasure meeting all of you guys.
It was a pleasure meeting you too.
You know, I really want to do this again pretty soon. Connor and Tin Man, you guys can set up another date that we can do this, and we'll set up another live broadcast. But continue your conversation as long as it takes, guys. I got to get to bed. My wife's going to work early in the morning, and I got kids to watch. So.
Okay. Well, good night.
Love you guys. Thank you very much.
Meeting you.
Very nice meeting you too.
Stay lucid, brother.
Have a good night, folks.
Bye, lucid.
So,
Okay, guys. Well,
hold on.
where do we want to take this conversation before we all call it a night? Because Connor, I know it's late where you're at.
Oh, it's nothing. It's only 1:46 a.m. I only got 2% left on my tablet. Only.
Well, let's go ahead and start calling this a night. Where do we? What final points do you want to make, ladies and gentlemen?
I'm happy about just the people that showed up. We got new people. We got new opinions. I got to meet people that you work with closer. That was awesome. Really, we got some really good ideas that kind of smashed together from different points of view. That's exactly what I ask for when I ask for these kinds of things.
Good.
We should do this again, and this way here, the people that were in this room, they could be like, hey, you think you got an idea? Let's come into this room with me. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we can make what used to be 2 and then turned into 10. I think the highest we saw was 11, so let's shoot for 15 in a couple of weeks or a month or so from now. The date times, that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, let's do the same topic again. You know, how to improve TWRN and maintain subscribers and give the people what they want. And maybe, maybe we can get some more input on this. Chad, any last thoughts before we call it a night?
He might have stepped away from the mic.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, actually, I was just muting myself. I was just saying that do this with everyone you know. Everyone you know in the world, everyone you connected to online, the very thing that you're talking about, how to expand the network, do those same things with everyone you know, because ultimately that's what everyone's already doing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to be done under a name or in a group or whatever. The world mind is doing this because it's a survival mechanism, and what's coming next isn't going to be pretty. So,
right.
Hold on to your butts.
I just want to say one more thing really quickly. Tin Man, before you go to sleep tonight, make sure you get all these people's information so we can hit
Already got it.
and stuff. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure you don't forget before you end broadcast, and then everything's fine.
Yeah, we got that shit. RTT, any thoughts that you want to add before we close out, brother?
Well, man, I think there was a lot of good conversation here tonight. I was doing mostly typing, just letting people talk as they needed to.
Well, you're more than welcome to chime in anytime you want.
You brought up a lot of valid points, though.
I appreciate that, but no, I think it's a lot of good conversation, a lot of good points brought up. I think you guys are on a roll with something.
Let's don't name it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's don't name it.
You have a video vlog that you feature. Would you like, if so, would you like to be featured on TWBRN?
One more time, you were breaking up.
Sorry about that. Do you have a video vlog that you do? And if so, would you like to be featured on TWBRN?
Do I have a channel? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes. In essence,
do you do videos like?
Yes, I do videos on Resist the Tyranny here on YouTube.
Can we put you as one of our featured activists?
You can do whatever you want with it, man. I mean, it's there for everybody.
Okay, well, we try to get everybody's permission because we don't want to associate people who don't want to be associated with us. Be like, hey, I'm not associated with you. Who the fuck are you? You know?
Where'd that kitty come from?
Exactly.
Exactly. We try to get people that do respect.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. No, right. I got my website, resistthetyranny.com, and the YouTube channel and all that.
Well,
yeah, shoot us the link in the chat, and I'll copy that, and I'll get you guys set up tomorrow.
Cool.
Haunted, what do you
All
got,
right.
my brother?
One more time.
What are your final thoughts?
Really, all my final thoughts were addressed in the last video we did. So if anybody wants to check that one out, fucking,
Go ahead.
what was it, NWO Jackoff Machine?
Yeah, well, what are your thoughts given this conversation, what we've talked about tonight? Any input, any thoughts? Do you want to start doing a vlog? What's up?
Well, as of right now, no, I'm not going to start doing a vlog because I have a lot of shit actually going on right now. I'm really getting back onto my music and everything because I might be getting signed to a label.
Can
So
you wear one
as
of
far
our
as
shirts
doing my
on
vlog,
stage?
probably.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll shoot you the link tomorrow. You can
Check this
one of our
out.
shirts.
Awesome. All right,
What's
I got
that?
1%, and I got 1%. I'm about to fade to black. But to anybody who's involved in music, definitely check out the Cafe Press, and you can check out our shirts and wear one of our sweatshirts on stage. That would be epic. That's broadening the network. Don't tell anybody what it means. They're like,
Right.
"What's your sweater, man?" You'd be like, "Look it up. TWWRN. Just look it up.
Google
You know?
it.
Yeah, just Google it." But I got 1% on the tablet, so I'm going to fade to
RT
black. So I wanted to politely
Okay,
say
John
goodnight.
Connor. Good night. Nice meeting you. Thank you for the
Okay,
invite.
yeah, people, any last comment?
Yes.
And he's gone.
Yeah. What do you got, honey? What are your final thoughts? What are we calling it all?
Who?
You.
Oh, me.
Yes.
Pretty much that. I'm happy to be here and check out my channel so you guys kind of know what the fuck I'm doing, you know. But you'll find that I've been supporting you guys all along, and I look forward to more collaborations.
Oh, definitely. We're gonna link you tomorrow. And RTT, please link us in the group chat thing. Post your channels so that I can go on there and.
I absolutely did that already.
Yeah,
Meet the people perspectives.
Yeah, it's in
yeah,
there,
RTD,
man.
if you would like to speak to you, shoot us your link, and we'll get you posted as well, brother.
Yeah, it's in there. It's on the internal.
Yeah, I'll have to scroll back through. I'm not seeing it. I'm dumber than a box of rocks tonight, people. I'm sorry.
Tonight?
Yeah, it's not showing up in my feed. So if you get a chance, if you're subscribed to me, go ahead to TWBR and go ahead and shoot us an email or even just comment on a video, and I'll get you hooked up tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll just message you on YouTube then. Yeah.
Cool deal. Cool deal. Well, we will schedule another video session like this for down the line, and you know, I'm not sure when we'll do it. You know, maybe in a month, maybe in a week. Who knows? But we will get it going. And till next time, it was great having you guys. If there's any ideas that you guys come up with, or any of our viewers who are watching this video who are watching the repost of this, if you got any ideas on how we can improve TWBRN and give the people what they want, go ahead and comment in the description. We love to hear your feedback. We don't want you guys to just sit there and get pissed off at us because we do something you don't like, and then you get unsubscribed because we did something you didn't like, and because you didn't tell us what you wanted. So just go ahead and tell us what you want, and we'll try to improve this. Till next time, I'm the Tin Man. Lucid's out for the night. Thank you, everyone who participated. Connor, Haunted, Chad, RTT, Me the People. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time.